She told me she was taking a break from dating apps. I matched with her the next day. She didn't even recognize me. I said, "Tell me again why you're single." She unmatched. I didn't. I'm a 42-year-old man living in Denver, Colorado. After my divorce, I decided to try dating again. I met a woman named Rachel on Hinge. She was 38, a graphic designer, and we connected over our shared interests in hiking, trying new breweries, and watching documentaries. We dated for about 6 months, and things seemed to be going well. One day, Rachel told me she needed a break from dating apps and relationships to focus on herself. I respected her decision and gave her space. A week later, I was on Bumble and saw her profile. She had a different bio, but it was definitely her. Curious, I swiped right, and we matched. I sent her a message saying, "Hey there! You look familiar. Have we met before?" She replied, Not sure. I meet a lot of people." I responded, "Tell me again why you're single." She unmatched me. I was hurt and confused. She had told me she was taking a break, yet she was active on another dating app. I decided to move on. A month later, I saw her at a friend's birthday party in Lodo. She was with another guy. I approached her and said, "Rachel, hey. Long time no see." She introduced me to her friend, Mark. I smiled and said, "Nice to meet you." Then I turned to Rachel and said, "Tell me again why you're single." She looked embarrassed and left with Mark. A week later, I received a message on LinkedIn from a woman named Sarah, who said she was Rachel's coworker. She apologized on Rachel's behalf and mentioned that Rachel had a history of not being upfront in relationships. Since then, I've met someone new. Her name is Emily, and she's genuine, kind, and honest. We've been dating for 3 months now, and it feels right. Sometimes people come into our lives to teach us lessons. Rachel taught me the importance of honesty and communication. And for that, I'm grateful. About 2 weeks after that message from Sarah, I got a call from my buddy Kevin. He works IT at the same company Rachel and Sarah do. I hadn't told him about what happened with Rachel, so I wasn't expecting anything. But the second I picked up, I could tell something was off. He said, "Man, you're not gonna believe this, but I think Rachel's been talking about you at work." I asked what he meant, and he told me that Sarah and Rachel had some kind of falling out. Apparently, Sarah mentioned the LinkedIn message to Rachel. Rachel blew up. She denied everything and accused Sarah of trying to sabotage her love life. Things got loud. HR got involved. A few days later, Sarah got put on probation for unprofessional communication with a client, which Kevin said was complete BS. He told me Rachel had dated a manager at the company before and still had some pull in certain circles. I didn't feel great hearing that. I'd moved on, or at least tried to. But now I felt like I had started a chain reaction without meaning to. And the last thing I wanted was to cause Sarah any more trouble. I messaged her again and apologized. She just replied, "It's not your fault. This is who she is." The weird thing is, it didn't stop there. About a week later, I started getting these random texts from unknown numbers. Stuff like, "You really think you're a good guy? She dodged a bullet with you. You're pathetic, man. Grow up." I blocked each number. But they kept coming, new ones every time. It didn't take long to figure out it was either Rachel or someone she knew. Then one night, I came out to my car after a late dinner with Emily. There was a long scratch down the driver's side door. It hadn't been there earlier. The restaurant didn't have cameras in the lot. I had no proof, but my gut said it was connected. Emily asked me what was going on, and I told her everything. I didn't want to lie. She listened quietly, and when I finished, she said, "That's some serious baggage. Are you sure she's done with you?" That question stuck with me. A few days later, Emily got a message on Instagram from a fake account. Just a blank profile and one message. "He's lying to you." She showed it to me. She looked shaken. "Is she stalking you?" I didn't know what to say. Maybe. Maybe not. I hadn't reached out to Rachel once since the party. But clearly, I was still under her radar. And now Emily was, too. That's when I decided to do something I hadn't wanted to do before. I reopened my Bumble account and created a fake profile. Just a picture of a bearded guy with a baseball cap and some generic info. I set the location filter to cover most of Denver and started swiping. Took 4 days, but I found her. New name. Same face. New bio. No drama. Just good vibes. I matched with her. I waited a day, then messaged her. Nothing crazy. Just, "Hey, your smile's familiar." She replied in less than 5 minutes. "You look like trouble." I said, "You like trouble?" She said, "Only if he's tall and honest." I said, "Let's test that second one." She responded with a winking emoji. I stared at the screen for a while. That was it. She hadn't changed. If anything, she was getting bolder. She didn't recognize me behind the fake profile. She was doing this with who knows how many people, maybe messing with them the way she had with me. Now I had a choice. I could unmatch and be done. Or I could go further. I didn't unmatch. I had questions. And maybe. I wanted her to answer them. I kept the conversation going under the fake profile. I didn't use any personal photos, just stock images I found online. Made sure it looked real enough to pass a quick glance. Her replies stayed flirty light. She asked where I worked, what I did for fun, if I was single. For real. I played along, kept it vague, careful. I gave just enough to keep her interested. A few days into messaging, she asked if I wanted to meet. I told her I was busy that weekend but maybe next. I needed time to think. What exactly was I doing here? Then something strange happened. Kevin called me again, said, "You might want to sit down." Apparently, Rachel had been let go from her job. Not for the blow-up with Sarah, but because HR launched an internal investigation after more employees started filing complaints. Someone anonymously sent HR a long message with screenshots of her texts, DMs, even parts of her dating profiles. The screenshots had timestamps, her real name, and detailed messages she'd sent under different names. Kevin said HR traced the email back to someone in the building, but they couldn't pinpoint who. He thought it might have been Sarah. I knew it wasn't me. I hadn't sent anything. But someone had. Later that day, I got a DM on Reddit from a throwaway account. Just said, "Thanks for shaking the tree. She messed with the wrong guy." I didn't know who it was. I clicked the profile, nothing there. Brand new. No posts, no comments. It was gone 2 hours later. That night, I logged back into the fake Bumble account. Rachel had messaged again. She wanted to get a drink the following Friday. I agreed. Told her a bar in Capitol Hill, a real place I'd been to before, so it didn't look suspicious. I planned to just watch. I wasn't gonna confront her. I needed to see her from a distance. I needed to look at her and remember she was real. That this wasn't just some messed up story I'd made up in my head. Friday night, I parked a block away, walked to the bar, sat in the back corner, and waited. She walked in 10 minutes late, wearing the same leather jacket she wore when we first met. She scanned the room, looking for a man who didn't exist. I watched her sit at the bar. She ordered a drink. Checked her phone. Waited. Something about it felt heavy. I expected to feel power, maybe a little justice. But I felt empty. She waited for 30 minutes, then left. No scene. No meltdown. Just walked out. The next day, the fake profile was unmatched. I thought maybe that was the end of it. Until 2 days later, Emily got a call from her work's HR department. Someone had submitted an anonymous complaint that she was fraternizing with a known workplace harasser. They didn't name me, but the timeline, the references, they all pointed at me. Emily was furious. Not just about the complaint, but that my drama was now bleeding into her life in ways she couldn't control. She didn't blame me. but I could tell it was wearing her down. I started thinking Rachel wasn't doing all this alone. Maybe she wasn't behind the Reddit DM. Maybe someone else out there had been watching everything too, with their own grudge, their own motives. And maybe now, I was in their story, just not the way I thought. Then the final twist. Kevin told me Sarah had quit. She didn't give notice. Just packed up one morning and left. Left Denver altogether. No goodbye. No social media. Gone. The rumor was she'd been threatened. Not by Rachel, but by someone else. A man who came into the office once, yelling her name. As a week after Sarah disappeared, Emily left too. She didn't ghost me, she was honest about it. We sat down at her place, and she just said, "I like you, but I don't want to look over my shoulder for the rest of my life. This feels dangerous now." She wasn't wrong. The texts had stopped. The fake profiles disappeared. But something didn't sit right. Like someone was watching, but no one was looking back. I started digging, not because I thought I could fix anything, but because I needed to know who else was involved. I created a second burner account and started messaging guys who had left comments on Rachel's old dating profiles. The ones still public. A few ignored me. But one guy replied. His name was Darren. He said he dated Rachel a year before me. Same story, charming, magnetic, perfect. For 3 months. Then chaos. She'd show up at his job, pick fights, tell people he hit her. His boss called him in, HR got involved, and he ended up having to transfer to another branch in another state just to keep his job. He told me something strange too. That he once found a notebook in her apartment. Pages and pages of names. Men's names. Some first names, some full names, some initials. With dates, notes, and things like, "Needs a push," or, "Left unread, circle back." He said she caught him reading it, lost it, and kicked him out that night. He never went back. I asked him if he still had her number. He said no. But he had her mom's. That's when things got really weird. I didn't want to bother her mom, but I was out of options. I didn't even know what I was looking for anymore. I called once. No answer. Then, a day later, I got a text. Blocked number. One sentence. "Leave the past alone or you'll be next." I laughed when I read it. Not because it was funny. But because I knew, right then, whoever this was, they were scared. I made a mistake by not walking away earlier. I played games. I tried to teach her a lesson. I thought I was being clever. All I did was open the door wider. 3 nights later, someone broke into my car. They didn't take anything. They left a photo. A printed out screenshot of my fake Bumble profile. Circled in red. And underneath, scrawled in Sharpie. "Fake men get real payback." That same night, I drove 2 hours out of Denver and dumped the burner phones. Wiped everything. Changed my number. I moved to a new apartment in Littleton. I started therapy. I deleted every dating app one ever had. 2 months went by. Silence. Until today. I got a letter. No return address. Just my name in neat handwriting. Inside, a single photo. Rachel. Standing at a grave. She's smiling. On the back of the photo. "Not yours. But soon." And that's how I know, this isn't over. Not yet. And maybe I deserve some of it. But not all of it. So if you're reading this and you met someone named Rachel in Denver, run. Security got involved. No charges filed. No camera footage ever turned up. Just silence. And I couldn't help but wonder, was Rachel just the start? Or was I standing in the middle of something way deeper than I realized?